Modern humans believe that sugar is an invention of civilization. But the truth is, sweetness existed long before humans knew how to produce it. There was an ancient source of sweetness that required no factories, no refining, yet was enough to sustain human life even in the harshest conditions. It does not work like the kind of sugar we know today. It does not cause energy spikes followed by crashes. It sustains, it stabilizes, and it aligns with the natural way the human body functions. For thousands of years, it existed as part of the ecosystem, uncontrolled, unknown. And then, it disappeared from the modern food system, not because it lost its value, but because it did not fit the way the New World was built. A system that demands mass production, demands control, demands profit, and that ancient sweetness could not meet those demands. So, it was replaced. My name is William. I am 70 years old. If you care about clean food, ancient foods that are good for your health, and the knowledge that modern humans have forgotten, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Turn on notifications, like the video, and leave a positive comment below. That ancient source of sweetness does not come from sugarcane, not from sugar beets, and not from any industrial crop. It comes from a tree that lives in the desert, a tree that can survive where most other plants cannot. Its roots reach deep into the ground, searching for water in layers humans cannot access. Each year, it produces long, dry pods with a golden brown color. On the outside, they seem unremarkable, but inside, they contain a form of natural sugar that has sustained humans for thousands of years. That tree is called mesquite. Its sweetness is not sharp. It does not cause an energy shock. It is mild, similar to caramel, with a subtle hint of smokiness. When ground into flour, it is not just a sweetener, it becomes a complete source of nutrition. What we call sugar today is only a very small part of what it once provided. Mesquite does not just create sweetness, it sustains life. Before humans built modern agricultural systems, mesquite existed as a natural solution for survival. Around 4,000 years ago, communities living in arid regions began collecting and storing its seeds. This was not an experimental act. It was a calculated choice. In an environment where rainfall was inconsistent and the land was difficult to cultivate, they needed a food source that did not depend on seasons. Mesquite met that need exactly. It does not require replanting. It does not require irrigation. It does not require protection from pests in the conventional way. It grows and sustains itself. Each year, the tree produces long pods containing natural sugar. These pods fall to the ground in a consistent cycle. Humans only need to gather them, dry them, and grind them into flour. This flour can be stored for many months. No technology required. No special conditions needed. It becomes a reliable form of stored energy. In many regions, mesquite was not a supplementary food. It was the foundation. It provided stable energy, no sharp fluctuations, no exhaustion after consumption. But this very stability became the key difference. Mesquite does not produce sudden high yields. It cannot scale rapidly on demand. It operates on nature's rhythm, not human demands. For thousands of years, that was not a problem. But when farming models began to change, when humans no longer wanted just enough but wanted surplus, wanted trade, wanted control over output, a new standard was formed. Food no longer just needed to exist. It had to be scalable. It had to be controllable. It had to be optimized for production. Mesquite could not meet those standards. It could not be planted in dense rows at scale. It could not have its yield forced at will. It could not be integrated into large-scale agricultural systems. Meanwhile, other crops began to emerge. They required more water, more labor, but in return, they produced higher yields in shorter periods. The difference became clear. One side was long-term stability. The other was rapid yield and control. In the early stages, these two systems coexisted. But over time, as demand increased and economic systems began to form, the choice gradually shifted toward what could be controlled. mesquite did not disappear immediately. It was pushed out, step by step, used less, prioritized less, mentioned less. Meanwhile, the new systems continued to expand. They changed how humans viewed food. Food was no longer something that suited the body. It became something that suited the system. And within that system, mesquite no longer had a place. That is how a food source that once existed for thousands of years began to disappear. The biggest difference of mesquite is not in its sweetness. It lies in how the body processes it. Most modern sugars are absorbed very quickly. They go straight into the bloodstream, causing a rapid spike in blood sugar, followed by a quick drop. This process repeats continuously, putting pressure on the metabolic system. Mesquite works differently. The sugars in its pods are primarily slow-absorbing natural compounds. This allows energy to be released gradually. Instead of spiking suddenly, the result is no spike and crash, no extreme fluctuations, more stable energy. In addition, mesquite does not only provide sugar, it contains soluble fiber. This helps slow absorption and supports the gut microbiome. It also provides plant-based protein, something rare for sweet sources. And notably, the mineral content in mesquite is significantly higher than in refined sugar. Calcium, magnesium, and other micronutrients are all in their natural forms. This creates an important distinction. Modern sugar provides pure energy. Mesquite provides a nutritional system. One side is a source of energy separated from biology. The other is a source of energy integrated into biology. This difference is not easy to notice in the short term, but over time, it leads to two completely different outcomes. One leads to imbalance. One maintains stability, and that stability is not what the modern system prioritizes. The disappearance of mesquite did not begin with the plant itself. It began with a shift in how humans built food systems. As the population grew, demand no longer stopped at sufficiency. Humans began seeking higher yields, faster production, and greater predictability. Food no longer just needed to exist. It had to be scalable. It had to be controllable. It had to be standardized. This was when industrial crops began to dominate. Sugarcane is a clear example. It requires better land, more water, more labor, and more complex farming systems. But in return, it provides something mesquite cannot: concentrated yield, uniform output, and ease of extraction. Sugar from sugarcane can be refined, packaged, and transported at scale. It can become a standardized product suitable for the market. Mesquite cannot. It does not grow in rows. It does not produce uniform yields. It cannot be harvested through industrial processes. It operates according to nature, and that is exactly what makes it incompatible. As the food system shifted toward industrialization, anything that could not be controlled was removed, not because it was ineffective, but because it did not align with the new objectives. Mesquite does not compete in speed. It does not compete in yield, and it cannot participate in large-scale supply chains. So it was pushed out. No need to ban it. No need to completely destroy it. Just stop using it. Stop prioritizing it. Stop mentioning it. And over time, it disappeared from the system. The disappearance of mesquite did not happen suddenly. It was a prolonged process, carried out quietly, but with clear direction. As agricultural systems shifted toward industrial models, the standards of value also changed. Food was no longer evaluated based on its ability to nourish long-term, but on its ability to be produced quickly and controlled efficiently. In that context, mesquite began to become a problem. It could not be planted in rows. It could not optimize density. It could not predict yield accurately by season. That made it incompatible with large-scale production models. As land was reorganized for more profitable crops, mesquite was seen as an obstacle. It occupied space, it did not generate direct commercial value, and it could not integrate into industrial supply chains. The solution was simple: remove it. At first, it was just reduced usage. Then came cutting it down for land. And finally, a complete shift in how people perceived it. A tree that once sustained human life began to be called a weed. This was not just a change in language. It was a shift in perception. When something is considered worthless, removing it becomes reasonable, even necessary. Mesquite did not disappear because it was weak. It disappeared because it did not fit the new system. A system that requires everything to be measurable, controllable, and profit maximizing. Mesquite could not meet those demands. It did not produce large yields in a short time. It did not generate fast profit, and it could not become a standardized product. So it was replaced, not by something better, but by something more compatible with the system. And over time, as new generations grew up without using it, mesquite did not just disappear from the land. It disappeared from memory. Part 7. A shocking comparison AI voice optimized. Today, when people talk about sugar, most think of fast energy. Energy comes in fast, rises quickly, and drops just as fast. The body reacts almost immediately. Blood sugar rises, insulin is released, then energy drops. This cycle repeats many times a day, repeated over many years. Mesquite does not work that way. It does not create an energy spike. It creates stability. Energy enters more slowly, but lasts longer. No sudden rise, no sudden drop, no energy crash. Modern sugar provides almost only energy with no supporting structure. Mesquite is different. It comes with fiber, with minerals, with compounds that support digestion. One side is isolated energy. The other is integrated energy. The difference does not appear immediately, but over time, it becomes clear. One side makes the body dependent. The other helps the body stay stable. One side requires more over time. The other maintains balance with less. This is not just a difference in food. This is two completely different ways of fueling the body. And the modern system chose the faster way, not the more suitable one. When a food system changes, the human body changes with it. This change does not happen immediately. It happens slowly, quietly, but continuously. When the energy source becomes unstable, the body has to adapt. Blood sugar fluctuates more. Over time, the metabolic system works harder. Imbalance begins to appear, not only in the body, but also in the environment. The land loses its natural cover. Ecosystems that were once stable begin to weaken. Temperatures rise higher. Humidity drops. When mesquite disappeared from the system, plant species that once supported each other no longer coexist. It was not just a food source that was lost. A balancing mechanism was also lost. Humans replaced it with a system that could be controlled, but that system requires more resources, requires more water, requires more intervention, and creates more pressure. Over time, dependency begins to form. Food no longer comes from the ecosystem. It comes from a production chain. And when that chain faces problems, everything is affected. This is not a small change. This is a trade-off between natural stability and artificial control, and the cost of that trade-off is still ongoing. For many decades, mesquite was almost unnoticed. It existed, but was no longer part of the main system, not widely cultivated, not deeply researched, not considered an important food source. But as the problems of the modern system became clearer, things began to change. As rates of metabolic diseases increased, as land degraded, as water resources became more scarce, humans began to look back at old solutions, and mesquite returned. Not in industrial farms, but in scientific research. Researchers began analyzing its composition. They realized a simple fact. This sugar works differently. It supports digestion. It does not cause sudden spikes in blood sugar, and it provides more than just energy. At the same time, another trend emerged, sweeteners. People began searching for more natural foods, less processed, less dependent on industrial systems. Mesquite fits that trend. From a tree once considered worthless, it began to reappear in health food stores, in nutrition research. But there is one notable point: its value did not change. Only the way humans perceive it changed. And that raises another question. If something once discarded can become a food of the future, then how many other things are also being forgotten? Mesquite never truly disappeared. It is still there, in the soil, in the ecosystem, And in places where humans have not fully taken control, what disappeared is the way we see it. For many years, humans believed that progress meant replacement, replacing the old with the new, replacing nature with systems. But not everything old is outdated, and not everything new is better. Mesquite did not fail, not to return to the past. It simply did not fit a system that prioritizes profit over balance. But to understand that, humans begin to look back, and as that system begins to reveal its limits, some answers have always been there. We simply chose to overlook them. If you care about forgotten foods, your sturmishorn, natural systems that once worked perfectly, and what modern humans can relearn, be sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and leave a comment below if you have any questions. This video uses AI-assisted tools to help present visual information more clearly and understandably for viewers.